Warning, this podcast contains graphic language. What's going on out there, MGTOW? What's going on out there, Manosphere? You are right here, KDR Podcast. One of the craziest podcasts for man. I'm right here in the Pacific Northwest. Just podcasting it up all across the world. You name it, from New Zealand to Australia to the United States, from the south to the east to the west, whatever. If you're here, well, guess what? This is your first time, is a fucking shit show that I run out here. It's pretty much basically when you fucking chicken ass, it's nothing but shit and blood and shit. Well, that's what the shit show it is. It's a bloody shit show that I run out here, gentlemen. And this is your first time here. I'm going to do the intro, waiting for the gentlemen to go out there in different parts of the world and jump in. So no further ado, let's start with the intro. Here we go, gentlemen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock this bad boy. Yeah. Yeah. All right, boys. Let's settle down here. For heaven's sake, let's settle down here. I just ran to this article like a couple of days ago, literally. And who does this shit? Who read this type of articles? I do. I find it fascinating, interesting, and intriguing. All right? I want to play this article out here with the soundbite and stuff like that, so you gentlemen out there understand what the fuck I'm talking about. All right? For some reason, I don't know who conduct these studies. For some reason, I do not know who conduct these studies, what kind of findings they have in Stanford universities. But I guess some men out there, of course, got to be men who do this shit, right? They put down the data between this year's and that year, and the increase of penises of men. It's unbelievable. I'm not making this shit up, gentlemen. I'm not making it up. And I thought to myself, this has got to be one dedicated motherfucker to look at the data from 1930s all the way to 2022 and how the penis has increased in male, right? But we all know that testosterone in male has dropped and sperm count has dropped. We all know this. We make child. You know what I mean? We grown men out here. So let me play you this soundbite here. Let me play you this soundbite. Let me look it up out here again. Hopefully I did not lose it. Hopefully I did not lose it and stuff like that. And this is a study. This is a study. I did not make this shit up. Nobody make this shit up. There's multiple articles with commentary, opinions, and shit like that regarding to the study. Okay, a study is a study. All right. So if you bear with me, let me play you this article. Just give me a second out here, for heaven's sake. And let me figure this thing out, how I'm going to apply this thing here. What the hell? There we go. So, yeah. Stanford Scope And according to the title of their papers, is increase in penile length cause or concern. They don't know if the penile length is a cause or concern. I want to play this article, and then it's up to you, man, to figure this thing out, because they don't give a reason why it hasn't increased. Is it the food? Is it this? Is that? They just did a study and they figured out, okay, man, you had these men who was born in this age and that age, and now they've got male who was born this age and that, and their dicks has increased 25%. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I'm not making this shit up. I wish I can, but I cannot. I cannot. Sorry for you all, you small dick motherfuckers out there. let me play this shit.
Is an increase in penile length cause for concern? Published by Scope Blog, Stanford University. According to trends in male reproductive health data, sperm quality and testosterone levels have declined over the last few decades, sounding alarm bells for Michael Eisenberg, MD, a professor of urology at Stanford Medicine. It's made him wonder, should we be concerned about other differences in men's reproductive health? Surmising that there may be more to uncover, Eisenberg set out to determine if physical anatomy has changed. In a study published February 14 in the World Journal of Men's Health, Eisenberg and his colleagues compiled data from 75 studies, conducted between 1942 and 2021, that reported on the penile length of 55,761 men. The team found that the average erect penis length increased by 24% over 29 years, a trend they saw around the world. Eisenberg said that the increase may be another indicator that environmental exposures, such as environmental pollutants or increasing sedentary lifestyles, are causing reproductive-related changes. Eisenberg discussed the motivation for the study, the potential implications of the findings for men's health, and new opportunities to investigate the impact of external environmental factors on human health. Can you speak to the motivations behind the study? A lot of studies have taken a broad look at changes in men's reproductive health. For example, sperm counts and testosterone levels have been declining for a long time. There are also higher rates of male congenital birth defects, like hypospadias, where the opening for the urethra is not at the tip of the penis, and cryptorchidism, where the testicles don't properly descend. Another measurement we've seen reported in some men's health research is penile length, and no one has taken a systematic look at that. Given the trends we'd seen in other measures of men's reproductive health, we thought there could be a decline in penile length due to the same environmental exposures. We conducted a meta-analysis in which we examined all reports, to our knowledge, of penile length. We looked at flaccid, stretched and erect length and created one large database of measurements. What we found was quite different from trends in other areas of male fertility and health. Erect penile length is getting longer, from an average of 4.8 inches to 6 inches, over the past 29 years. What are the health implications of this trend? The increase happened over a relatively short period of time. Any overall change in development is concerning, because our reproductive system is one of the most important pieces of human biology. If we're seeing this fast of a change, it means that something powerful is happening to our bodies. We should try to confirm these findings, and if confirmed, we must determine the cause of these changes. There could be a number of factors at play, such as chemical exposure, like pesticides or hygiene products, interacting with our hormonal systems. These endocrine disrupting chemicals, there are many, exist in our environment and our diet. As we change our body's constitution, that also affects our hormonal milieu. Chemical exposure has also been posited as a cause for boys and girls going into puberty earlier, which can affect genital development. Where does this research go from here? What questions remain unanswered? The big next step is to look at other patient populations, such as the pediatric population, to see if there are similar changes. Just as we measure height and weight every year across the US, this is something else we could measure in a systematic fashion, because it may turn out to be an early indicator of changes in human development. Also, if there's granular data on lifestyle factors or environmental exposures, we could try to understand why this may be happening. Lastly, I think it's important to ask if there are similar changes occurring to women's reproductive organs.
Well, I'm not a biologist. I'm not a biologist, gentlemen. For some reason, I ran into this article and I found it fascinating because I know, like I said previously, I know that sperm count for male has dropped drastically and testosterone has dropped drastically. But I did not know that the penis have gone bigger. I didn't know. I did not know this shit, man. I didn't know that the dicks is getting bigger by the minute, by the year, by the day. These folks out there in Stanford, they gotta be bored. I don't know what the fuck they do out there. Look at these. They got a lot of fundings. You got to have a lot of fundings. It's like, okay, let's do a research. Okay, so I'm a biologist or whatever. Let's do this research here. And let's figure out why the penises has increased drastically 24% in the last 30 years. And what is the situation that's taking place? And what is study and this and they do this data and shit like that. Obviously, Stanford's getting money for this shit, right? Because nothing's free. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Somebody pay for this shit. And I'm thinking to myself, this got to be some Tanding study, for heaven's sake. Look at men's dick and do, but it's understandable. It's understandable, It's biology. It's biology. I'm not here to be critical about it. I'm just trying to understand this shit. Now I got my own thesis. I'm just got my own thesis. Right? My own thesis. These skanks, they say, all these skanks with penis and dicks and cocks, peckers, whatever you want to call your pecker, whatever, member, whatever the fuck. They say the bigger the better. So they can complain now. It's big cocks everywhere now. It wasn't like back 30 years that this study has demonstrated. So what the fuck? So it also dawned on me, right? Did this study out there in Eastern Asia where this Asian male got small penises? And why they have small penises and why the Western men have larger penises? What is the correlation? And because it dawned on me, right? I'm being real, right? I got to be real with this situation, right? And it's a lot of things it came to my mind. Probably the food, Most of it probably like the food or different shit that people eat and stuff. All kinds of stuff came to my mind, And then I say, well, most likely, to me, it's not so much an environment, It's not so much the environment, the air and stuff. It could be. Because, you breathe air and you do this and you do that, right? But most likely, to me, is the consumption of chemicals with food. That's so of course, I got to be biased with this situation because I'm a vegan. So let's take this element out of it. But, maybe I could be wrong. I do not know. But all I know that one thing that study has shown with females, especially with ethnic females, blacks and Latinas, they develop early breasts and they develop earlier than the counterpart of Asian females and white females. And due to the fact, because they eat chicken. And chicken has a lot of hormones in it. That's just fact. I know this study for years. All right. So could it be a correlation with male penises and food? I don't know. I'm just putting up because they don't give you, I read the article like fucking 10 times and they don't give you a correlation. Could it be that men are spanking the monkey more and watching porn more and the blood flows is enlarging the penis and stuff like that? Could it be they are having sex with sex dolls and the pussy's tight and the penis get the blood flow going and it enlarges itself? Because it's pretty much a muscle, right? If you work a muscle and stuff like that, it gets bigger, right? It's a muscle. It's what it is. With veins and shit. I'm not a doctor, man. I'm not a fucking doctor. I'm just trying to have a grown man conversation out here about dicks and shit and cocks and pitters and all kinds of good stuff. I don't have a clue. I'm just trying to connect the dots. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less, my friends. Do I find this shit intriguing? Fuck yeah, I find this shit intriguing. Do I find it interesting? Fuck yeah, I do. I do. I really do. When I read the article, my first thought was like, who funded? Who funded this study? Who funded this study? Who did this? And I know the doctor and shit like that and stuff like that. And I got, I try not to laugh, right? Because I find it hilarious. Everything like this, I find it crazy. I find it hilarious. I don't take nothing seriously in the United States. United States is a fucking shit show. Anyways, it's a shit show. So when you put a study by Stanford University, and they did this research, they took place, and they looking at dicks. Literally, they're looking at dicks from 1940 something to 2022, and they connected dots and had this thing. This is a fucking shit show. It is. There's so much stuff that Stanford can do besides looking at dicks and the length of dicks and how much testosterone got for men, or how much balls are heavier. Next thing is gonna be testicles has increased by 1 pound, and you're gonna be looking around motherfuckers like, remember that scene out there with South Park when you got these gentlemen out there walking around with the balls on a carrying the balls in a cement shit, stuff like that. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Some of these studies I find it fascinating, and some of it's like I find it hilarious. I really do. I really do. Why they conduct this study? But it's very interesting. It's very interesting. And very unique, Very unique. And, I have to give credit what credit's due out there in Stanford University. At least they do a little bit of male research and male anatomy. Because nowadays it's everything about female and this and that and shit like that. And nobody gives a one flying fuck about men. At least I got to give him credit. At least they can point something out. You motherfuckers, your cock, your dick, your pitter, your whatever you want to call it, your member has increased by 24%. That's what it's showing. That's what it is, man. I don't know. But I tell you, to be real with y'all, since I became plant-based diet, I have a fucking corundum. I'm 46 and I wake up with a fucking hard cock or hard dick or hard member. And I've been a plant-based diet for 4 years. And I thought to myself, what the fuck is going on with me? Why my dick is hard in the morning? What the fuck am I, a teenager? What the fuck is going on in this bitch? Guess what? I went out there and do research. I Googled some stuff like that. And those men, they either the vegetarian or plant-based diet, it's normal. Because the blood flow, it goes straight to the penis. Because you don't have so much fat and shit like that. They increase or decrease your penis and stuff like that. Yes, it was very worrisome for me. I'm like, where am I waking up? I'm still waking up with a fucking hard on. Now I understand it. It's like, okay, my blood flow is flowing. So obviously it's going through my body. Obviously it's going to go to my penis and shit like that. And stuff like that. And I get up and do my own thing and shit like that. But it was 2 years that I was like, what the fuck? I'm waking up with this. And I'm 40 something. I'm waking up with this fucking hard cock and hard dick. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with me? What am I? A teenager? Am I 18, 16, 14? What the fuck is my problem? So I had to do this research. And I was like, oh, okay. So, it is what it is. I'm talking about male anatomy. If you don't like male anatomy, go fuck off. Go listen to out there, whoever you want to listen. I'm talking about shit, reality shit out here. How the penis in the Western society has increased 25%. That's a fucking big ass increase. And penises, and dicks, and cocks, members, peckers, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Something's going on here that is, let's put this in rational thinking. Something's going on out here that male penis has increased 25%. I'm trying to connect the dots, but I don't have no fucking clue about it. I'm not a biologist. I don't know all this stuff and shit like that. I don't. But the data's there, according to the University of Stanford. You understand these folks out there in these type of university, they get fund, right? They get fund for it to do different studies. What's going on with this? What's going on with this? They got different projects and shit like that. From different shit. Cancer research, that research and shit. And probably this doctor just bored as fuck and figured this thing out. Well, this is my thesis. And I forgot the name of the doctor. Matter of fact, let me research the doctor. My apologies, man. I've been in the grind for 10 hours a day. And I come over here, my words stuttering and shit like that because my eyes are burning and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It's, it's an open platform that I got here. Just give me a second out here because I want to find this guy who, white male, especially white male, they're brilliant. They are brilliant. They intrigued by a lot of stuff. All the creation that we got is by white male. They intrigued about this shit. So I got to take this shit like, seriously. You know, I gotta take this shit seriously because they do studies and stuff like that. Let me figure out the doctor name here, because he's obviously he got a PhD. What is his name? Let me roll down on the article. Just bear with me 1 second. Let me go out here. Yeah. MD professor of Stanford Medicine. Okay? Stanford Medicine. Michael Ensberg. Let's see his credential. Clinical focus, urology, fraternity male. So he's a male doctor. He's doing his studies of men's health. All kinds of shit that I cannot pronounce. Academy appointment, professional education. They go on his bio and stuff like that. Clinical practice in California, Palo Alto, and stuff like that. Well, that's all I need. That's all I need. I think. I did look at his bio and stuff like that. I'm a fucking nerd. On my leisure time, I don't own Netflix. I don't own cable. I got Wi-Fi and stuff. I don't own none of that streaming services and stuff like that. I got YouTube. I got Rumble. I got different apps and stuff like that. And when I have my spare time or leisure time, I do stuff like this. I look up different articles regarding to mail or regarding to MGTOW or economics and stuff like that. That's what I do. So if you give me a second, I want to get into the economic situation that we're about to face. And it's going to be a fucking clusterfuck. It's going to be a clusterfuck. And everything, in my point of view, is about economics. If you don't have economics, if you don't have money, you can do shit. And how these things going to affect the United States. So in my point of view, just one man opinion. I'm not an economics, by the way. I'm not a doctor. All I do, you're right. Listen, gentlemen, I'm the average man who conducts his own business, mind his own business, and in my spare time, I come over here and I open up the mic and express myself. You don't have to take nothing from me, okay? Do your own fucking research. Look shit up. We live in a communication age. That's what you gotta do. Look some shit up. And that's it. That's it. It's like the people in the United States are so dumbed down. They believe everything. They believe this and that. Nah, man, you got to sometimes, you got to pause. You got to think. And you have to do your own DD. You have to. Because otherwise you go mad. You go mad. You go crazy. You go insane. So let me play you the remain of the intro, and I'll be right back. All right. Cool. Hit those thumbs up, man. All right. Settle down, boys here. Settle down, gentlemen. Settle down. Hey, who's in the house? I want to know who's in the house. Okay, so if you bear with me, just please bear with me. I will read your comments and stuff like that, you know. So who's in the house out here? We got Bayman from Australia. What's going on, Bayman in Australia out there?
Headshot.
What's going on, JP 45, JP 545 out there? Who else is in the house? Shinobi One Kanobi. What's going on, Shinobi One Kanobi? How you doing out there in New Zealand? What's cracking lacking? Damn. Who else is in the house? Let me scroll down. I know the doctor. Yeah, the doctor's in the house. Did I give shout out to the doctor? What's going on, doctor? You know, I never shout out. Okay, so
Come on.
let me see, because you know this thing's kind of delayed and shit like that. from the land on the. Now the whole podcast went to hell in a handbasket because I was thinking about different topics. You know, when you come down to this live stream, it's kind of difficult after working, you know, 10 hours a day and trying to put this in perspective, the studies and shit like that. You know, it's very difficult. And I try to do my best. And, you know, it's free. What the fuck? Something is free is free. You can listen to it, give thumbs down, thumbs up, write your comment, whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a shit. But one thing, besides the enlargement of penises that is going on in the Western world, besides that, I don't know I have an intuition. And once my intuition, my gut feeling, saying, you know what, something is wrong. Not so much with the country. Fuck the country. You know, I'm not mad. I'm not mad if people want to fucking transform themselves and whatever. I'm not mad about skanks. I'm not mad about simps. I'm not mad about whatever is going on with society. Fuck society, all right? One thing that worries me is economics. It took me a long time to figure this shit out. It's economics. Without economics, we can function as a society. Motherfuckers want to be a transformer and do these shenanigans and shit. Let them. Let them. They want to do this nonsense. Why? What to get mad about this stuff? There's no reason. Let the baby have the bottle and suck it. Right? But when it comes down to brass knuckles, hey, money talks and bullshit walks. And that's what I'm all about. And now, this whole economic system, from the government to the private sector, and inflation, and on debt, people in debt, I smell something that it doesn't smell good. It doesn't smell good. Now we got this skink ass bitch out there, Elizabeth Warren, talking about we're going to crack down on crypto. And you got this other fucking douchebag talking about we're going to crack down on crypto. We want crypto to be banned. We want Bitcoin to be banned. We want this shit to be banned and shit like that. And listen, man, we are living in some fucked up shit. I don't know if this so-called dollar backed up by nothing, which is backed up by other countries who believe in the dollar, how this shit's going to play out. I do not have one iota. I don't have one clue. All I know is this. I'm trying to hedge whatever I can. Whatever I can. For real. Whatever I can do. To protect myself. Now, I'm not saying that I want to be rich and shit like that. Like I said previously, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. When the Titanic is sinking, I'm not even asking for a lifeboat. All I want a dinghy to make it to shore. If I can make it to shore. If I can make it to shore. But at least I try. The situation is very confusing. And it is very disturbing. To be honest, gentlemen, regarding to the financial situation that this country is facing, I don't believe shit. I don't believe nothing. Nothing. Everybody trying to sell you bullshit. Invest in gold. Invest in this. Invest in Bitcoin. Invest in this company. Invest in that. This is going to hedge against that. It's bullshit. All of it is nonsense and bullshit. All I know, you have to have access. Whatever you can afford. And don't be in debt. How this shit is going to play out in this summer? This summer right here coming up. I don't have a clue. All I know is this thing stinks to high heaven. This whole economic system with the dollar and shit, it stinks to high heaven. It really does, man. The government have put the claws on the free market. And the free market is no longer free market. The government got to get involved. You see that fucking the native Warren out there in Connecticut trying to get the filthy claws on crypto and shit. Trying to put some regulations against Bitcoin and shit. You know? They don't want the people of the United States to invest on the free market. It's a free market. If you lose it, you lose. If you lose it, you lose it. Fuck it. Why the government got to be involved in every aspect of people? We grown folks here. Why so much bailout? They've been bailing out these motherfuckers since 2008, 2009. Why so much fucking printing of fiat currency backed up by shit? The only thing the United States is backed up with is the military. That's it. That's it. Weapons and shit. That's it. It's nothing backed up by the dollar. Think about it. Think about it. Nothing. You know, so funny. My bank, which I try to keep the minimum as possible, even though I have to use them as a middleman, because I have my own contract. So I have to use this, and the way I get method payment is through the internet and through bank accounts and stuff like that. So, and bills, we all gotta pay bills. Come on. And I figured this thing out within 2 years. And I'm gonna keep this pithy and small because me myself, I'm confused by it, but I'm trying to understand it. And the way I see this thing, I have 3 choices. I have 3 fucking choices. It's very simple. Spend. Because I have to spend. Meaning spend, I have to pay bills. Well, let me digress. I have to produce. Meaning I have to work to produce. Right? So I have to produce. Second, I have to spend. Meaning my bills. Necessities. Not some bullshit credit card and not nonsense. Necessities. My third, invest whatever's left over. If I have $100, well, guess what? I will put that in anything that I feel frisky that day. If I want to buy 2 ounces of silver, great. If I want to buy some Cardano, great. If I want to buy some Bitcoin, great. If I want to put it on the stocks and gold mine stocks, great. Whatever got left over, I invested. I'm not your, how call this, high earning man. I'm not. I'm your blue collar man who goes and work for a living. But I'm trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. That's it. I have 2 vehicles. I have stocks. I have precious metals, silver, crypto. I don't own real estate yet. Hopefully I will or not, but all I'm trying to do is just like whatever got left over, invest it and not spend it in bullshit. Not be in debt. One thing that I have to say for myself: 0 fucking debt. I don't own nobody goddamn fucking shit. My 2 vehicles paid off. Everything's paid off. Shit is paid off. You know, I mean to talk about this shit. The bank, because the bank's in trouble. They're in trouble. All the banks are in trouble. All of them. If you think that your money you got there is safe, no, forget about this shit. You better invest it and put that shit out somewhere. Or at least hold cash in something. All these banks, they there's some fucking deep shit. Especially after the Federal Reserve has increased the numbers and shit like that. I keep $1,000 on savings and $500 on checking. And the rest, I invest in shit. I really do. I really do. There's no savings. There's no, are you fucking kidding me? There's no. What the fuck you need to save money in the bank? Why? There's no reason to have $10,000 in a fucking savings account. There's no reason for that. If you do that, you're part of the problem. Because they take that $10,000 and they invest it in bullshit. In loans and bonds and shit. Supposed to hold 15 years and 20 years or 5 years and shit. And they take your money and they play with it. So I do the opposite. I use them and I take my money and I invest it in bullshit. Whatever I believe. That's how you gotta play the game, man. I didn't make this game up. I did not make the game up. The game was rigged to begin with, so I'm just learning shit. What I have learned in this last, I started learning a little bit about economics. To be honest with you, gentlemen, since the pandemic took place, and I was baffled by it. And I knew back then it was like, he's not got to do nothing with health. Go over there, wear a mask. Go get injected with his vaccine. Go over here, go over there, go there, do that, do that there, go out there, go in there, stay in your home. We're going to pay you money. Don't stay, don't go to work from home, do this shit. The virus out there is going to kill you. At the end of the day, I figured out. It took me like 6 months to figure this thing out. It's not about the health. It's about psychology, people control, and at the end of the day, it's going to be economics. Economics. They printed so much fucking money and shit like that. And I saw inflation taking place. Slowly. And then you get into the gist of it. Why they print so much money? Why they did this? Why they tell people to stay at home? Why people who got small business, they shut down and shit like that and stuff like that. It took me, when they shut down the whole fucking economy in the United States, it never should be shut down, because I look at this shit back then. Now, I was correct back then, 3 years ago now. I live my life as a risk taker. Meaning, I gotta get my car. I gotta produce. That doesn't mean I wake up in the morning and I come home at night. Especially in the city. You can get in a car accident. You can get killed. You got 99, 100 times possibility of death. When it's time to go, it's time to go. But now, They protect this. Don't go out there and shit. And you know, the most asinine. I still remember this shit vividly. The most asinine thing is protecting the old. The old. They don't give a fuck. They old. Oh, it's about the old people. But then they shut down the schools. They shut down and everything. You got teenagers that not graduated on time. They got depressed. They got this shit and stuff like that, due to the fact because the American school system is polluted, corrupted, and it's an indoctrination. But that's besides the point. But that hurt a lot of people's feeling and shit. And look at now. Work. I didn't stop producing. I'm like, you know what? If I get the virus, fuck it. I get it. If I don't, I continue to do my own shit. I didn't stop. I did not stop. If I get sick and shit, and I deal with the public. On my side hustle out there in Seattle, as a hot dog vendor, making my own money on the ground, cash and shit like that. 70 fucking thousand people goes out there, 50,000 people go out there. Did I catch anything? No. See, the problem is the government and the government and the media. And they promote propaganda. Back then. My rational thinking back then 3 years ago, it was nothing got to do with no fucking health. And then when this fucking the whole system is so fucking polluting and corrupted. Whoever gonna vote for Donald Trump again, guess what? You part of the problem. You are. And I'll tell you why. I voted for Trump the first time, not the second time. I only got a few votes in my life. I like him because he's a populist. I used to like him because he was a populist. I didn't like him no more after he did his Operation Warp Speed. You know Operation Warp Speed, right? All this vaccine, big pharma, and then went to Joe Biden and stuff like that. And recently I saw these fucking old fucking cocksuckers with Trump, Mike Tyson, Joe Rogan, and I forgot the next other cocksucker promoted this bullshit. No, fuck off. Fuck off. Fool me once, you're not going to fool me twice. Fool me once, you're not going to fool me twice. I remember vividly what they did to American people 3 years ago. Vividly. Vividly. It wasn't too long ago. That's why I'm a libertarian. I do not want to be part of the system. I don't. I don't want to participate on this voting bullshit. You know, I don't want to get too much in semantic with this Trump business, but I've seen these this imagery with out there in the UFC with Mike Tyson, Donald Trump, and Joe Rogan, and another cocksucker out there, and like, no, dude, no, especially Joe Rogan. I'm surprised that he kind of promoted this guy, because Joe Rogan, he was the first one who go out there. It's like, you don't have to get vaccinated. There's medicine for this shit. Ivermectin and all this stuff and shit like that. Now he's promoting the same guy who gave the vaccine. It's all fucking, it's a shit show. Joe Rogan will not get vaccinated, but he's promoting now Trump, who implemented war speed. Does that make any fucking sense? I don't know. I don't know who's sucking each other's cock. I don't know. I don't have one iota. I really don't. Well, this is this is gonna be my live stream for tonight. Our live stream for tonight. Listen, folks, gentlemen. When I put this up, write comments. Even though you was here in the live stream, write comments, hit thumbs up, and and shit like that. All you fellas out there, just help the brother out. Help the brother out, and I don't need no help. Maybe by writing comments, you guys can write comments with each other and shit like that and stuff like that and communicate and stuff like that. Or not, I don't. It's irrelevant to me. But like I always say, gentlemen, excuse me. Ooh, hold on. For heaven's sake. See, I work too hard. That's a problem. I work too hard. Let me smoke a little bit of cannabis. A little bit of cannabis. I almost forgot. I got to end up the live stream with cannabis here. Oh, by the way, the cannabis is legally in the state of Washington, so cocktail, you can fuck off. I'm not promoting no drug use and stuff like that. It's legally. It's like having a beer and stuff like that. So let's pop this cherry. One more time. I think, yeah. I'm trying to be professional, but I can't. I can't help myself. Like I always say, gentlemen, peace. Stay MGTOW. I'll catch you next live stream, podcast, or video. Let the universe be with you. I'm out.